Silver Dave here. I like my silver, I like a lot of silver, but I also like gold. So how much gold should I buy relative to my silver? Well, let's find out. Us silver stackers, we like silver because it's cheap. Honestly, it's cheap. Silver is cheap. You can get silver, an ounce of silver, under $30. It's affordable. You know, you can get your paycheck and you're like, okay, I can put a little bit to the side and can buy some silver. It's a savings account. It's a really accessible savings account. But what about gold? Well, if you go to your average coin store and if you look online, the first thing that people present to you for gold is a 1 ounce gold eagle. And that thing is not cheap. That thing is over, I think it's over 1800. It's almost 1900 right now. Last time I checked the prices yesterday. So you know, it's not gonna always come out your weekly paycheck. No, not many people can say like, this week my paycheck is, I can go out and buy a gold eagle. Nah, not many people can do that. Especially if you have other expenses. I mean, unless you're earning how much you would need to earn per week to be able to buy a gold eagle. You'll probably need to earn 8 grand per week, which means that you're earning net. This means that after you pay taxes. So you're earning gross probably around 12 grand. So you need to make close to 48 grand a month gross. And that would put you at almost $500,000 gross income per per year, and that's a lot of money. That's you're like, if you're making half a million a year in gross income in US dollars, you are in the top one. You're in the not even the top 1%. You're in the top point, I think 0.5% of all income earners in the United States. So yeah, so no, not everybody can. It's not for everybody. Not everybody can go and take their monthly, take their weekly paycheck and go buy a gold eagle. That's not happening. That's not gonna happen. That's why we buy silver, right? We buy silver because it's affordable. Everybody, almost everybody, can go out after their week and pick up an ounce of silver. It's not like, if you choose to not spend on some luxuries, you can do it. But gold is another story. Gold, you can't really do it with, and like I said, the eagle is so expensive. That's why I show you my strategy, right? The thing is, I stack silver because it's cheap, but not because I think it's a more stable metal compared to gold. I stack it because it's accessible. I can buy it in smaller quantities. And I don't earn $500,000 a year. I can tell you straight out of that. I can't go and pay with like every single month, take every single weekly paycheck and go buy a gold eagle. I can probably buy, like, if I stretch myself, I can buy a gold eagle every single month. But then I would be going all in on metals, and then I will, you know, it would be like a bit rough. And I wouldn't be able to cost average because I'll be buying just that 1 month, everything into that 1 month. So I don't want to do that. What have I been doing? Well, I wanted to get some gold, but I didn't have the money to go and buy a whole ounce of gold. Then I looked at like the quarter ounces, the half ounces, and then I got discouraged because I did a previous video where I was saying, oh, I'm stacking sovereigns, and then the quarter ounce is kind of a trap. I did that video because the quarter ounce was one of the first coins I looked at, I think, when I was thinking of buying gold. I was like, oh, it must not be so bad. It must be just a quarter of the price of a full ounce gold eagle. Oh, I was wrong. I was so wrong. The full ounce gold eagle has a slight premium. It has, I think it's almost a 5% premium, but the quarter ounce gold eagle has a 15 to 16, no, it has this 15 to 20% premium on the coin. And I was thinking, oh my God, that's insane. It means that if I buy 1 ounce of this coin and I stack throughout the year, I start stacking quarter ounce gold eagles. By the time I get to the end of the year, I could have stacked another like half ounce of gold, pretty much, right? I'm losing half an ounce of gold every single year if I buy quarter ounce gold eagles or whatever quarter ounce gold bullion coin, modern bullion coin, mind you. So I was thinking, this isn't a really good deal. This is not a great deal. And I want to look at how much coin shops and banks were buying back. So mainly coin shops. I didn't see any banks buy back quarter ounce gold. And one of my viewers was talking to me. He was saying like, yeah, he's buying quarter ounce. Do banks buy quarter ounce? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. I do know they buy 1 ounce because they list it. They have a public prices for 1 ounce gold. But they don't have quarter ounce gold prices. They do buy 1 gram bars and so on. But I didn't see anything for quarter coins that are like quarter ounce coins. I did see some old bullion coins being traded by banks, but modern bullion quarter ounce coins, I don't know. But I do know that they are listed, for example, as investment grade coins under the EU directive. So in the European Union, at least all these coins are considered as investment coins. Which leads me to the next part. So how do you do it? How did I like, how do I get gold then? So I was looking around, I tried to look everywhere, and the thing I found where I started calculating, and it took a while for me to go through every single type of gold coin and see what was per gram with the gold content cost and what was a premium on the per gram. And the ones that had the lowest premiums were these, the Swiss 20 Swiss francs, the French 20 French franc, the old king sovereigns, and these old bullion coins. And pretty much they don't have any, they're pretty much depreciated to the point where it's only the gold content that's of value in them, because the manufacturing cost it was like 100 years ago. So it's no longer being factored in. While modern coins, the manufacturing cost is factored in immediately, right? So there's that. So what did I do with these coins? Well, the thing is, I wanted to decide on a safe ratio of gold and silver for me, like a good amount of gold and silver that I could hold and I would be comfortable holding. And what I came up with was I would buy roughly 5 of these ounces of, 5 ounces of silver for each 20 franc coin LMU unit. And that's been treating me pretty well because silver is volatile. Silver is much more volatile than gold. It moves up and down a little bit, like it's correlated to gold. There's a strong correlation between the movement of silver and the movement of gold. The problem for me with silver is that the premiums are so high. You're paying close to 10-15% on the premium of silver. And on average, like silver in a bull market gains anywhere between 10 to 15%. That's a good year for silver. That means that you're giving up 1 good year to just hold silver. So I think silver has more speculative potential than gold. Like it can go up a lot more. It's more accessible. It's used industrially. Changing technology will affect its price more than just currency changes. But potential means that it can go up or it can go down. That's why silver, people call it the investment that gives and punishes at the same time, because it really is an investment that gives and punishes at the same time. It's much more volatile. So what do I do? So I try to hold at least, so 5 of these is roughly, it's a bit more than $100 right now. 5 of these is around $125. But because it's physical, you're expected to pay maybe $2 or $3 per unit over spot. And if you have to pay tax, you're getting closer to the $30 mark per ounce of silver, which is, it's closer to a 20% premium. And when I think about it, the reason why I didn't buy the gold eagle was because there was, the quarter ounce gold eagle was because there was a 20% premium. So, and it was expensive. Why would I spend more on silver and pay that premium? For me, that's the thing. The premiums are what kills you when you stack. It's not so much the fluctuations of the price of gold and silver. It really is a premium that makes it that you can't buy as much metal as you want. You know, if there were no premiums, people would be much happier. I mean, think about it. You can say, like, you can argue that, you know, metal is real money, fiat isn't money. Yeah, but if you can get more metal for your money, then do it. For your fiat currency, then do it. You know, don't be sensible about it. You know, if something, like, if you have a car and then you have the same car next door, and one of them is selling for $500 more than the other one and the same mileage, and they do exactly the same thing, you buy the cheaper car. Same thing with metals, you know, this is real money. So, and one is just cheaper than the other to buy and has less of fees associated with it. Then you buy it. That's the thing. That's the thing. You buy the one that has less fees, because ultimately you will get more of your real money worth than 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 if you spent your money on fees, which means fees just evaporate. Think of it like this: every money you spend on fees is money you're burning, right? So try to go for the lowest spread and fees possible. And that applies for everything in life. You know, just go for the best value thing possible. Spend less on fees and appearances. I like my rounds. I bought rounds. They are cheaper than coins in Europe, but the thing is, I do have to pay taxes on these. So for me, your ratio, you could probably, if you don't have tax on silver, you definitely could pick up like a bit more silver than gold. But because I have tax on silver, I try to limit myself to roughly now. Before, I was buying a lot more silver because it was just not so expensive. But now with the price of silver is adjusting and I see the price of gold coming down a bit, I'm like, okay, let's be sensible about this. So I'm buying roughly 5 ounces of silver, so a bit more than $125, $130, and I'm buying 1 gold coin. And this total, like, weekly sort of package is around, let me do the math, it's a little bit under $500, right? This for me is acceptable. Like, if it's under $500, it's kind of like I actually picked a gold eagle up, but I'm actually getting a lot more metal. A 1/4 ounce gold eagle, I'm getting a lot more metal. Now I've been picking up gold sovereigns because, you know, and I've been picking up more or less silver because I bought a lot more silver earlier, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to balance it out. So I'm trying to look for lower premium gold coins to make sure that my ratio overall for my whole stack is relatively safe. Because here's the thing, when you take on more volatile metals, right? And I'm not just talking about it's volatile to the dollar, it's volatile in the gold silver ratio too. It's volatile in the gold platinum ratio. Silver is just highly volatile, even relative to other metals. So yeah, this is the thing. Silver is volatile to other metals. You can benefit, like, let's say if the silver gold ratio drops, right, to like 50. I think most silver stackers at this point will be like, it's a good time to change silver for gold. Nobody thinks that, like, if your silver gold ratio drops, it's not a good idea to get some gold in exchange for your silver. I don't think everybody will do it, but I think like 4 out of the 5 people I've seen either post YouTube videos, talk on forums, and they have a lot of silver. They say that every time this gold silver ratio drops, they try and get some gold because for them, you know, gold is the more stable long-term asset, and it's a more stable currency out of the two. So gold is the one that they go for the long term. Do I think that silver is better than the dollar? Yeah, I do think silver is better than the dollar. But do I think silver is better than gold for wealth preservation in the long term? No, I don't think so. I think it's good, but I don't think it's the number one, you know, the top tier in terms of wealth preservation. Do I think it has the most potential? Yes. Am I contradicting myself? No, because if something is stable and it grows in a very stable manner, there's less chance for it to actually go up and hit like exponentials, right? Anything that is volatile can hit exponentials. So the more volatile it is, the more likely it's going to go either up or down. And that's where you're, but it has the possibility of going up exponentially. Anything that is really stable doesn't go up exponentially. It just goes up in a very stable manner. And that's why gold isn't really a good speculative tool. You're more likely to lose money if you try to speculate in time markets with gold. And that's why I tell all my viewers, with both metals, to cost average. Don't go all in. Buy what you're comfortable with. I don't try and dump all my salary, like 1 month salary, into gold and say like, oh, today the price is super low. I won't buy everything into gold. I buy when it's high. I buy when it's low. When it's higher, I tend to buy a little bit less. When it's a little bit lower, I tend to buy a little bit more. But I buy in a in a timely fashion. That means that I'm continuously buying a little bit at a time. And I'm trying to maintain a healthy ratio between what I consider to be more volatile metals and more stable metals. Now, I've been picking up what I've been applying this overall to the whole metal group. So that means there's 4 metals in the group. There's palladium, there's platinum, there's gold and silver. And I do want to touch a little bit on platinum because it's different. Platinum is quite different. The price of platinum isn't really correlated with gold, but it is still a precious metal. And I've been picking it up because I think that it's platinum group metals are so rare in the universe, not just on Earth. Yeah, we know that there are asteroids out there with platinum and gold and so on. But overall in space, platinum is quite rare. It makes up a very, 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 it's one amongst the rarest metals there are in the universe because of its difficult information. It's also a metal that costs more than gold or silver to make into a finalized product. That's why I've been picking up platinum. And I've been picking up platinum because I think that because there's not so much of it. And at the same time, it's quite hard to recover. There are a few industrial uses, like chemical industrial uses. And it's used in spaceship. This is really a speculative long shot. But also, platinum is very, very cheap at the moment. I mean, if you look at the places where we do produce platinum, it's in South Africa. The majority of platinum is produced in South Africa. And they just can't produce enough to meet demand right now because of coronavirus, because of social turmoil, because of political issues. Of course, oil is cheap, so it means that the cost of mining platinum is going to go down. But the price of platinum at the moment and all the difficulties with extracting platinum are so high that it's quite difficult to go lower for the price of platinum. That's the thing. So I've been adding it to my stack. Will I be adding more platinum? I think I'll be adding this ratio. I'll be adding 10 to 1. So this is 2 ounces of gold for 20 ounces of silver. And for each one of those, I'm adding 1 ounce of platinum. That's my ratio, and that's pretty much how I'll be buying going forwards. Do I think that I'll be adding more silver? Yes, I'm still stacking silver. Don't freak out. I have got plenty of silver. I think last I counted, I had around 120 ounces of silver. In addition, I had close to half a kilo of, I've got a bit more than a kilo of 800 grams of 800 grams translates into a bit more than 20 more ounces, 150 ounces of total fine silver. And then I have some 900 silver, which I have about, I think, 400 grams of that. And then I have some commemorative coins, Swiss commemorative coins. Do I think that I'll be buying more silver? I'll be buying silver at a slower pace because now, when I started first stacking, I saw silver was cheap, it was precious metals. I just like, yeah, let's go for it. Then I've been reading more as I stack more. I've been reading more about like the volatility related to the 2 different type of metals, not just looking at how much they're related towards the dollar, but also related to their ratio pricing, And the trend I've been seeing is that silver tends to trend upwards. It means that silver is getting cheaper and cheaper over time relative to gold. Do I think you should pick up silver? Yeah, well, if the price is a bit too high relative to gold, just wait a bit and it will go over time. On average, silver will always become cheaper and cheaper than gold. Doesn't mean you need to put off buying silver. No, it just means that over time, you're going to be able to buy more silver. That's a good thing, right? It just means that silver pricing, it means that you can pick up more silver. And silver tends to have more spikes. So when it spikes, yeah, then you can just trade your silver for gold. The funny thing is, I'm saying that today, there is some funny historical precedence to this, is related to the reason why they discontinued the LMU coins. I believe in the early 1900s and late 1800s, the LMU coins were standard and they were fixed at a fixed exchange ratio to silver, right? And what happened was in Germany, they got a massive influx of silver. So German traders would go and mint silver and then go to countries using the LMU and using the favorable silver to gold ratio trade and to get a ton of more valuable gold out of the LMU countries. And then they would enrich themselves based off that arbitrage. So you have to, historically, it has happened. So yeah, I think silver right now is relatively cheap. It's not at its cheapest. I think at its cheapest ratio, it was like 92 to something to 1. And then it dropped to like 70 something. So if you buy it when it was 92 to 1 and it dropped to 70 something, then it would be a good trade. You know, that would be a great trade. You made a lot of, you gained a lot of value. Do I think today we're going to see silver hit 92 to 1 to gold? I don't know. Like I said, I've also seen that in recent years, silver is much more correlated to the value of gold. There's like almost, I've been reading different articles. Most articles are putting it at around 85% correlation. So, and I've seen it in the markets itself that when gold tends to go up, silver goes up, and silver is almost basing its value on the price of gold at the moment, which tells me that silver is right now more used as an investment than as an investment currency, as an alternative currency relative to gold, relative to purely industrial use, which is what it was before. And I've been seeing that somewhat with platinum too. But platinum definitely, if there is a platinum shortage, platinum tends to skyrocket. I mean, not in the silver term like you're thinking, oh, silver goes to like $50. I mean, platinum, when it skyrockets, it goes like twice the value of gold. You know, it's like 1 ounce, $4,000. It's platinum because there's so little of it, like you can fill a swimming pool with platinum. Like all the platinum in the world, you can fill a swimming pool. And if you bring a giant asteroid from space with platinum, you can maybe make a second swimming pool. I mean, that's how few platinum we have. Silver, you can make like probably a skyscraper, and the gold you can make a house, and all the platinum just a swimming pool. It's like the ratio is complete. You know how much we have of it, and relative to what we can do with it, it's for platinum, it's so cheap. I keep telling people platinum is so cheap right now. It's just it's insanely cheap. It's like unbelievably cheap, and that's why I'm going to pick up more platinum. I might even just pick up more platinum instead of gold because instead of silver, because for how much for one of these, like 20 ounces of silver, like here I have this. These are 2 ounces, 18. I can almost pick up a 1 ounce of platinum. That's how cheap it is. And how much platinum is used? Well, I think you could use this can make 10 fuel cells. No, maybe more. Maybe you can make around 100 fuel cells. And yeah, it's so cheap. But each fuel cell, if we're using trucks, like I was thinking that like fuel cell technology is dead, but then I was like going online, I was looking like, where is it actually used? Because obviously there's still demand for platinum. and they're still using it in some things, where is it used? And I found that like actually for long haul trucks, fuel cells are a very viable technology because they give just more range than electrical cars, and they don't produce. And also the thing with fuel cells in smaller cars is that you have to kind of like sit on your gas tank, which can explode. But no, well, normal gas cans can also explode, but hydrogen is a bit more violent. In trucks, they don't really have that problem because you can have much bigger gas tanks, you have more space, you can make things much bigger, you can make things sturdier, and for long range haul, you don't have to miniaturize everything. It's so the fuel cell technology becomes more viable than having for long haul trucks. And I was like, And currently, there's only a few companies. They're heavily promoting it and they're heavily investing in it. And they're trying to create a long haul truck network for fuel cells and for hydrogen pumps. And I think that's the it's going to take a few years before it takes off. But I think that's a good strategy because commercial cars is a bit different. I think electric can work for commercial cars because you can charge it at home. But if you could not charge electrical cars at home, it would just be dead in the water. Like it wouldn't take off. And if electricity wasn't so cheap at home, but when we have the only problem with electrical cars is the range. But once you have enough range, it's okay. But refueling electric cars is a pain in the ass. I mean, how are you going? You have to sit at a supercharger for like 30 minutes. Come on, that's not. If you have to like refuel 5 times in your road trip, it's not really very practical. Like you just want to fill gas, but no, you have to sit there for like 30 minutes to an hour to get a full charge for your long distance road trip. And can you imagine hauling trucks? Like if you have to stop every single 400 kilometers just to fuel and lose an hour, they can't afford that. They can only like that's why I think electrical long haul vehicles are not going to come into play. But I think if you can provide a green alternative that is with hydrogen, it doesn't provide large amounts of emissions, it could work because then you don't lose time and it's actually cheaper. So that's the thing. Yeah, that's why I'm buying platinum. That's my logic. Anyways, like I said, your gold to silver ratio might be different. Mine is roughly 20 ounces of silver to 2 ounces of gold, so like 10 to 1. That's why I think it's probably the safest in terms of value and wealth preservation. You can be a bit more speculative if you are and buy more silver. But do remember, I have 7% tax on silver. This is my limitation. So I do pick up less silver than gold. You could go for 1 ounce for every single 20 ounces of silver if you can have access to really, really like, if your rounds are $1 above spot, okay, right? I don't have access to $1. Mine are almost like $4 above spot. It's like, it's not great. Silver Eagles, last time I checked, the ones like 2020 Silver Eagles in my area, they're $34. They're 34 Swiss francs, so they're almost $40 an ounce. That's just ridiculous. I'm not buying silver at $40 an ounce when spot is below 25. I'm just not doing that. That's almost a 100% premium. Then I'm buying numismatics instead of stacking bullion. It makes no sense anymore. So yeah, if you have rounds that are $1 to $2 above spot, so you're like 5% above the spot, yeah, silver's fine. You can actually take up more silver because there is less. You're burning less money with fees, and that means that there's less risk, and it means that you can pick up maybe 1 ounce of gold for 20 ounces of silver. That's perfectly fine. Do I think everybody should pick up a little bit of gold? Yeah, I think if you can afford to pick up a little bit of gold, do it. Try and pay as little fees as possible because fees either on gold or silver, they kill you. They kill your stack. You're just burning money. Like I say, it's not good value to pay fees. Especially for bullion coins. Bullion coins are not numismatic. They're not collectible. I just find it really funny that like a lot of the current modern day bullion, they are so expensive in terms of fees relative to numismatics because you can pick up like really, really like I would say it's semi-numismatic bullion for cheaper than like eagles. And I'm like, why? Why is it that you can pick up kookaburras or even Star Wars coins? I was looking at Star Wars coins. They're cheaper. I can get Boba Fett for cheaper than an eagle. And I'm like, yeah, Boba Fett is cool, man. I can get Vader for like cheaper than an eagle. Vader is really cool. The Vader Star Wars coin. I want to get it for Christmas. And now you know what's on my Christmas wish list. I'm probably going to order the Star Wars coins for Christmas as a treat. And yeah, I'm not going to order like a whole bottle of them, but I'm just going to order like one or two. But yeah, those coins, they definitely have numismatic value, but why would you pay like an eagle for the price of those coins? It's not sensible. It's just not sensible. But maybe you have access to cheaper eagles. I don't have access to cheap eagles. The only cheap eagles I managed to get was off a dude on eBay-like site, and I go meet him at a train station. And, and we had to do the deal in a train station. He was a bit like scared. He was felt awkward. He never did it before. I never did that before. He was like, this is the first time. I feel like it's a bit shady. We're like dealing something illegal. I'm like, no, it's not illegal. It's just like, maybe we should just pick a cafe or a restaurant and sat down and then did the deal. He's like, yeah, probably, instead of just hanging out around the train station trading silver for money. That was a funny fun story. Yeah, so that was it for today. Leave a comment. You guys always say interesting in comments, and I'm willing to share anything I know. If I know the answer to something, I'll share it gladly. I'll tell it to you, and I'll give you like what I found, and I'll show you what I found during my research. And if you and also remember, I'm not a financial advisor, so do whatever you want. I mean, I'm just some dude that likes buying coins and metals, physical metals, and yeah, and this is I give you my opinion on things, and I share what I find, and sort of I like chatting with you guys. So write a comment below, and I reply to everything unless you're a spam bot, and then I tend to leave you alone, because if you look like you're a bot, and I've seen your comment like 5 times appear the same way at the bottom of my video was the same 3 other dudes writing the bot comment to support your comment, I'm not gonna reply. I think everybody knows who they are. They're the dudes trying to sell cryptocurrencies in the chat, and also the sex bots who are selling something, who are trying to pawn off their sister, which is kind of weird. Yeah, don't click those links. If I have time, I'll clean them up. But yeah, everybody else, you're welcome to write a comment, and let's chat. And also, like the video, it helps me out a lot, and thank you very much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. I know 75% of you are viewers, but you're not subscribed, and I do know that you guys go through my content. I post daily content, so to keep up with the content, feel free to subscribe. You're not obliged to subscribe. Subscribe if you want to. I mean, it's a free world, and I'm just some dude talking to a microphone and with some hands. Thank you very much for watching. Dave out.